Good afternoon, good morning to some of you security pros. I want to thank you for joining us on today's ESA webinar, Challenges of Seamless Access Control. In the world of contactless operations, a slew of major challenges can arise when adopting seamless access control. Equipped with a powerful face recognition system, your view of security access can evolve. In this webinar, you'll gain a deeper understanding of seamless access control and learn how it compares to common legacy face recognition access control systems. To curb the spread of COVID-19, our experts today will discuss access control features such as identification with face masks, user enrollment and GDPR, temperature scanning, and work from home solutions and integrations. Our experts will also present 2 case studies tackling the basics and practical applications of this advanced technology. Given today's unprecedented circumstances, it's more crucial than ever to offer your customers a modern and reliable access control system. The truly contactless concept of Innovatrix face recognition access control promises a completely non-intrusive experience, keeps your premises safe, and opens new opportunities for dealers. I'm Jillian Bateman, ESA's Chief Development Officer, and I'll be facilitating our discussion today. Before we dive in with our experts from Innovatrix, I do have some tips for those of you joining us on your first ESA webinar. First, welcome. ESA, or the Electronic Security Association, is the largest and longest standing association serving the pro-installed electronic security and life safety industry. Our members are integrators, dealers, monitoring centers, and even manufacturers and service providers in the space. We are the voice of electronic security and life safety. If your company is a member of ESA, thank you. We hope you're taking advantage of all of the ESA benefits available to you to leverage growth and connections for your team. If your company is not yet an ESA member, check us out. You'd be surprised at the power of membership. You can get a feel for all of the ESA benefits, including savings on business insurance, training, sales team coaching, certifications that satisfy state licensing, and more at esaweb.org. Let's get into the good stuff. All callers will be muted for the duration of this webinar, but that doesn't mean we don't want to hear from you. If at any point during the presentation you have a question, click the Q&A button at the bottom of your control panel, and I'll ensure we save time at the end of today's session with our experts to get your questions answered. We'll also be recording today's webinar, so you can watch the on-demand video at your leisure and share it with your colleagues. Just give us until tomorrow to get the video exported and hosted on the ESA site. We'll send you a link to the email. We'll email you a link to the recording tomorrow, so you don't need to go looking for it on the ESA site. We at ESA realize your time is valuable, and we appreciate you spending some of that time with us today. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our group of experts from Innovatrix. Robert, let's dive in.
Thank you very much for the introduction and welcome. Over the next 20 to 25 minutes, I will walk you through the Innovatrix introduction. We will talk more about what type of face recognition solutions for access control do we recognize according to the user's interaction. I will introduce the Smart Face platform, our core engine used for face recognition. And also, we will discuss more about the challenges our partners and customers are facing when deploying such seamless concept. I'm also very happy I have here today Sarandis from Precise Biometrics, our partner from Sweden operating in Nordics. That will help me a little bit also to bring you the world of real deployments of such access control solutions and how you can solve very challenging situations. Innovatrix is a privately owned company. That means we are also very flexible in terms of decision making. We are not bound with some corporate structures. We are very flexible and experienced. We are on the market more than 16 years. And since that, we have delivered more than 500 projects over 80 countries, and more than 1 billion users is interacting with our technology already. We can support all of the three modalities, including fingerprints, face, and irises. And what's important to mention is that all of the algorithms are in-house made. We have our own R&D team building our own algorithms, then engineering team building the SDKs. And this approach gives us a lot of confidence that we can solve one of the most challenging situations we will face in production. And we believe in a world where people can instantly trust other people relying on the right technology. Even we are based in a small country in the Central European Union, Slovakia, we are a global company. We have a team sitting in US and Brazil, operating in Americas. The same, we have opened an office in Singapore for Southeast and Asian region. And also we have a team sitting in Saudi Arabia, supporting the EMEA region. Our business model is very simple. We focus on technology, biometric technology, building the applications that are used for integration by our partners. We support our partners, and together we deliver the solutions to the end users. This way, I would like to also introduce our partner program and invite you to join or evaluate our solutions. Just go to innovatrix.com/partner-program in the upper right corner, and let's grow together. Before I start to talk in greater detail about the technology, here I will share research from 05 group, which was about the usage of access control solutions and what type of a security token is being used. And I believe you have the same experiences that the RFID cards is still the prime. And we all know what challenges is, how challenging is this, how little security is in these cards. On the other side, the same question has been asked the users, what you don't like on your current security system. And it's not surprising that the majority of users replied, we need to carry some sort of plastic card to let us in. This thing can be easily stolen, easily lost, and this brings us a lot of trouble. Let me also give a little thought about the situation we live in. I remember a year ago, I came back from a business trip from the Middle East. And since then, I pretty much traveled nowhere. Since then, I have to wear a face mask. I am working a lot of home office. And even with the vaccination pace we have currently globally, this is gonna be a new standard for many other years. There is still not 100% cure for the COVID. The vaccination is also not 100%. And only things that are proven and work is to keep the distance, wearing the face mask, and washing the hands. And with our technology, you can bring to your customers and partners the health and safety environment. According to the user interaction, we recognize two main types of face recognition solutions. On the left side, you can see the terminal-based solution or tablet-based solutions. You can imagine usually a type of Android or embedded solution mounted on a wall where user needs to stop, usually put the face to the placeholder, image is taken, sent for matching, usually combined with different security tokens like a smart card or so on. But the user experience is not really well here. This solution cannot be really used in the exterior conditions because the cameras, the USB cameras that are embedded in such solutions have usually very low parameters. And also the price of such devices starts somewhere around $1,000. On the other side, and this is gonna be the main topic of this webinar, we'd like to introduce the concept of seamless access control. That means user doesn't have to interact with any system whatsoever. User experience is very positive. User just enters the area, the face is being detected, face template extracted, sent for matching. This all happens almost instantly within milliseconds. And the user simply go in. We can seemingly open the door or the turnstile or whatever sort of access control solution. Also, you need to consider if you have a deployments, let's say for tens or hundreds of the entry points, deployment of such terminals will be very costly. Consider that you can buy good quality CCTV camera maybe for $100 to $50. So if you deploy this type of concept with just the cameras that are pointing to the server, you will also see a nice cost savings. And here, let me show you a little example of the seamless access control concept from our partners, Precise Biometrics. First, I will play a very short 1-minute YouTube video, and then I will give a word to our colleague and friend from Sweden, Sarandis, to talk a little bit more about the offering and what were the typical challenges when they were trying to deploy this type of solution. So let me just switch to the YouTube and let me play the 1-minute video.
Unique is a convenient and secure access system that allows users to enter an office by facial recognition, invite employees or external guests by simply sharing a registration link. This allows your visitors to smoothly complete the registration remotely by submitting information and sending a selfie back to the company database. When your visitor arrives at the office, a camera by the entrance will compare his image with the selfie stored in the company database. If this is a match, the door opens and he is granted access. As soon as your visitor enters the office, the host gets a notification that the guest has arrived.
Yeah, so here was the showcase. What do you think, Sarandis?
Yes, thank you very much, Robert, for this beautiful video that we did. Actually, this was our installer. And it's like you say, I mean, we have been working with you for a long time now and tried to actually convince our clients in Sweden of how we can move on into the seamless access. And it's all about that we need to change the mindset of our customers. For them, it has been for a long time that, yes, we have a lady or a guy giving away cards and tags for people that will get a job. And what if we could do this digital, that you don't need to come to the office and get your digital key? And that is what we are able to do with your beautiful technology in Innovatrix.
Also, what I can say, we see since last year, since this COVID started, even many people start working home offices, and I will show you in a while as well the solutions for home office. We have such similar system deployed in our offices as well, and the user's feedback is very, very positive. If sometimes happen, of course, that we need to restart the server or simply we are deploying new version and the technology doesn't work for a while, we see that the reactions of the people are, oh, I don't have my card with me.
It's the same here. It's the same here. And it's like you say, in the beginning, there could be some challenges. People are a little bit restrictive. Okay, what is this? What? But when we tell them, test it for 1, 2, 3 weeks. And when you get the feeling, the experience that you don't need to have anything with you, your body is your key, you are the key. And then you suddenly say, okay, the test is over. Then the employees will say, wait a minute, this was a good solution. I mean, we need to have it. And I think that user experience is everything. And just imagine, like you say about safety, I mean, you can take your tag, give it to a friend or another person. Here, it's actually only you that can enter the premises. One challenge we have had, which we are working a lot with, is that a lot of premises actually has already access control systems. And it's very important for us that we don't go in and say, now we are going to replace the system. So we are working very hard to integrate. So integration with third party and already existing access system is a must. Why? Because they take care maybe of the access rights. Each user can enter separate doors. And if we can just identify the person with Innovator's algorithm, that's actually what needs to be done. And then we can issue the right user ID into the system and let that access system control.
Yeah. So your face is becoming kind of virtual card, or
yes, exactly. And for some people, yes, there will be some that will question, okay, what does GDPR say, and etc. And this is something that we have taken a big stand on, that we want to really sell this product. So we are looking at what can you do, what you cannot do, and everything is about consent. Everything is that you're not allowed to do something that the employee doesn't want to. So it's all about to dare to take this stand and say, we will like to offer a product and be compliant as much as possible from a GDPR perspective.
I fully agree with you, and thank you. And on the next slides, we will also introduce how you can support fully GDPR or any type of security compliance or privacy act with the right solution.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
Let's move to maybe another example of the seamless access control concept we have deployed last year. This was for the smart building in Hungary with our partner HB Reavis. This is one of the biggest property developers management company around Europe. And this project was for a smart building, smart office building. Together, there's several blocks of buildings, together 6,000 employees, 4 speed gate lines, you can imagine a turnstile. And then one tenant has also deployed over 8 floors, 40 cameras for 40 entry points, where user seemingly goes to the elevator and goes out, approaching to the entry point to his office, and doors are seemingly open. Big challenge here was also, of course, the GDPR, because the user needs to provide clear consent he agrees or she agrees that the face will be used, and also the user should have the option to take this consent back. So we have done also integration to their current access control system together with the consent management system. And I will show you those applications in a while. And the last reference I am showing here, for the reason I choose very different use cases. This is from our partners from Saudi Arabia, King Abdullah University of Science and Technology. You can imagine like a little city, 30,000 people campus, students and employees. And they have main entries where 99.9% of people are getting in a car. The challenging situation was, again, the user experience. They didn't want the users to leave the car. Simply the user just stops the car, have a look to the camera. They have 2 cameras for the reason, the higher one for the trucks, the lower one for the regular car. There is a security officer holding a tablet, and he sees immediately information out of the watch list from 40,000 users. Who is the user sitting in the car? And the user is also holding the ID, so there is a double check possible. And of course, the system has been integrated with their visitors management system in order to provide fully seamless access. And I will again repeat what just Sarandi said. Every company has already their own access control system. And what we do, we just synchronize against the master access control system. So you don't have to put the information twice. You don't have to think about any type of double work and so on. Now let's talk more about the SmartFace itself, about the engine. SmartFace is a scalable face recognition server solution capable to process multiple camera streams. It can be IP camera, CCTV camera, or offline video stream, process or detect multiple faces, extract face templates, and sending for a matching. I would like to highlight here that for such typical scenarios, you don't need anymore any GPUs. Our algorithms are very well optimized for running on regular CPUs in the regular conditions, as you will see in a while. Main features I would like to highlight is hardware agnostic approach. The technology is for real world situations. And we have very nice and very useful feature called Watchlist Auto Learn that helps us to improve the accuracy of matching. If we say hardware agnostic, that means we don't bind you again to any typical hardware vendor. You can use your cameras, existing cameras from various vendors, or you can simply process the offline video file, or you can use a stream from the smartphone I will show you in a while. Smart Face Core Engine process frame by frame. On each frame detects faces, extract face templates, send for matching. This happens simultaneously within milliseconds. Once the face is detected, we push the 0MQ notification with the information about what has been detected and metadata. And developers can also integrate via REST API, which is agnostic protocol, so you can use whatever programming language of your choice. And this way you can build also your own application, or you use the simpler one we are providing together with our solution. If I say a real world situation, that means a real world situation. This is not like a data set built from the nice Visa images. It's really built for reality. You may have the camera outside, you may have it in the interior, you can fight with a low light or with the black and white output from the camera, especially when it's dark, so it streams via infrared. And first I will start with the official benchmarks we hold from NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, face recognition vendor test 1-to-1, which is more related to the verification or users remote enrollment. And here in this benchmark, in the dataset called wild faces, that means it's a dataset built from images from video streams, from IP cameras, from smartphones, so very blurry with a lot of noise. People are in emotion. Here we have on first place with the lowest false reject rate at the false accept rate, 0.005. But what is more relevant, especially for our use case we are discussing now for search, is this benchmark, again from NIST, that shows that Innovatrix algorithm can search 12 million users database just within 13 milliseconds. The speed is one thing. You can have very fast algorithm, but it's nothing if the algorithm is not accurate enough. And especially in the wild images, in the wild scene where the people are moving, once I have a long hair, another time I have glasses, then I have a hat, then I have, I don't know, I really can change my appearance. For exactly such use cases, we have built so-called watchlist auto-learn. And what does it mean in reality? That you enroll with the one regular image or two regular images. We always recommend also to add a face mask image, just with a selfie. Not every time necessary, but always helpful. And then over the time, every day, algorithm picks up one image of my face, of my appearance in front of the camera, usually the one that is most different from other images, and adds to the master watch list. This helps to keep the accuracy on the highest level, and especially in challenging situations. This helps us a lot to recognize people wearing a face mask, which became a new standard. And also it helps us to detect people, for example, as I show on our scenarios, entering the building when you have a strong background light behind yourself, for example, when you have very low light conditions. So those are typical situations we are facing, or our partners are facing when deploying these sort of solutions. And just to give you an idea how such watches auto-learn looks in reality, let me show you, this is the system, this is the watch list in our building, our colleagues. And let me find myself pretty quickly from the list of employees, for example, here. And as you can see, I have just one enrolled regular image, pretty old with a longer hair. And all of the other appearances are built from watches auto-learn. Yeah? So we have cameras all around the building, opening the floors. As you can see, one time with a face mask. Here, obviously, I'm eating something. So yeah, maybe let me show you Roman here. This is a nice guy, our marketing chief. So you see very handsome. On the other side, you see a lot of strange, fully covered images. And yeah, or maybe let me show you Jan, our CEO and owner. He has also a lot of images. Jan, he likes to run to the work. So you can see very often very different appearances with the face mask, without the face mask, in the jogging outfit. And the algorithm still can recognize the person even from the very, very different angles and appearances. And now let me move to in front of the camera. The funny part gonna start. I will showcase what does it mean in the real world situation. Usually, you cannot afford to put the camera right in front of the users. It won't look good first, and plus it will start people freaking out. So let me just share my screen here. Hello, I'm streaming from this left camera. Right now I'm staying from the camera maybe 8 meters, so consider around 20 feet. Let me maybe simulate if I will go behind the corner to disappear from the tracking. Once I appear in the camera view, my face is detected. Once my face is detected, you see here is also the match. Here are the faces that have been detected, all of the faces. Ones that have been matched, we list here. This is not the percentage. This is the matching score. Of course, we have all of the supporting documentation. What does it mean? But such score equals to the accuracy higher than 99.something%. Let me maybe put my face mask on, or let me start with the sunglasses, yeah? Because this is very typical. People are wearing sunglasses. So let me just disappear from the stream. Even if I appear again, as you can see, my face has been detected without any issue. Every time we detect the face, we also provide metadata. I will show you in a while. Yeah, and also the match here against the reference image. Yeah, nowadays the new standard is to wear a face mask. So let me just put my face mask on. Let me disappear from the tracking like this. Oh. And as you can see here again, my face has been detected, even with the face mask on. Here is a snapshot from the situation. And here you can see also the very strong match. Score 71, which is from 0 to 100. And this is again, very, very strong probability that these two faces are matching. This is how we express the accuracy, of course, in the biometric world. Let me again hide behind the corner to simulate just regular situation where user just enters wearing the face mask. Every time we detect the person, we also estimate age and gender. Actually, I'm 39, but of course, with the face mask on, the accuracy goes a little bit down. We provide a camera ID. We provide, of course, also the metadata like time. And also we provide a face confidence score that can be used for tuning the accuracy. Of course, that's a very important parameter. Of course, if I put my face mask down and will again disappear and appear in front of the camera, as you can see, the verification, the matching score rises up close to the 100, and also the estimation of my age is much more accurate. Let me also show you so-called data view, where we list all of the users that we spot here. What we also do, we are grouping the same users according to the chosen time interval into one identity. So for example, here you can see my appearances over last, I think, 2 hours. I was also, testing the technology before the webinar. So this is what we call grouping. And this also helps to count people, only unique people, especially how many people coming into the building, because we are grouping the same faces into one major identity. So yeah, let me now come back, please, to my presentation room to carry on with the presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. There is a section for that. We will discuss your questions at the end of the webinar, approximately in 15 minutes. Yeah, so this was a sort of real world situation we live in. As I said, you cannot afford to put the camera on the stand and simply let the stream everything that's going on. People will not like it. User experience will be not fine. And let's discuss a little bit the challenges you may face once you will be deploying the seamless access control concept based on face recognition. As is mentioned several times, the integration with the third-party system is crucial. Usually you won't find a startup that just, is becoming to the world. Usually the organization have the camera setup, CCTV infrastructure, their own access control system. And our technology is open. You can either do the integration by yourself, or we have an integration team that can help you out. And if your access control system have an option to integrate, which 99% option of the systems do have, they have an open API for that, then we can always help you out. So typical are, as I said, building access control system, consent management systems. And of course, our technology is built for access control. That means we can also generate the command either via APR or vGANT protocol to physically open the door. So that's very important as well. Our smart face has also ready-to-use components which help you for a very quick deployment. We provide users the access registration application. I will show you. And with this application, you let the user to enroll from home via any type of method, via laptop. And there's a simple reason why you should always take care about the enrollment. Because if you have a good quality enrollment, that means you have nice frontal image, the accuracy of matching is then perfect. If you do not pay attention to the good quality enrollment of the users, then the quality of the matching will go down as well. Very important here with this application or this enrollment approach is also that the user explicitly have to agree that the face can be used as a security token to let the user in. And we have built this application for our partners for easy use. And of course, it's an open framework, so you can add your own standards, your own methods, your own integration part. And let me show you how such enrollment may look like. First, I will show you, this is our demo watch list. I am right here. Now I will delete myself from the watch list. So I'm not here. And then let me share my smartphone. Hopefully you can see it. And we have a very simple application for enrollment. And this application helps user for seamless and very intuitive phase enrollment. So I will just simply hit registration. This is very nice component. We navigate user what he's supposed to do. So we don't let the user to submit an image of his dog or whatsoever. We can also use a liveness check. So we make sure that the user is really genuine user, not faking with the image. I will show you in a while. And as I said, we navigate user, what he's supposed to do. If I will have a strong background light behind me, we will tell you, go towards the light and so on. So I will just enroll like this. That has been auto capture done. So once the quality was sufficient, image has been taken. I will just agree. Here I will enter my name, maybe some sort of external ID. I can be agent 007. And yeah, I will just go next. Now I need to agree with the GDPR details. And of course I will finish. And I'm done with the registration. Very simple. I will show you in a while also how you can combine these also with your ID. So now if I will refresh the watch list, as you can see, my image has landed in the watch list. And with this method, you can set the access rights. For example, such user can enter the building A entry point 1 to 3 between, I don't know, 5 and 8. And you have a very nice solution for your contractors, visitors, or simply for a new employees and onboarding. And let me show you how such a home office or new employees onboarding can look like. Also by verifying the identity of the user, meaning scanning his ID and verify if the user that is enrolling is really the holder of the ID. As I said several times, we live in a very strange era. We do a lot of home office. Many friends of colleagues of mine, they started a new job, they've never been there. The courier just bring them the laptop, they start working from home, they enrolled remotely, they did the job interview remotely. So simply these are becoming a new standards. And we are trying to always bring the solutions to the users and trying to simplify their work. Here I will simulate the new employee onboarding. Even this is a mock-up of the banking application. The flow is always the same. At the first, user scans the ID. Then we ask users to make a selfie. We compare those two images. And we also run so-called liveness check to make sure that the user is really a live person. So we don't let spoof it. Let me just start. I will be using my Slovak ID. For the security reason, I have covered main areas. So because we will be recording this and streaming worldwide, globally. But we have also the technology that if user will use such tempered ID, if I will stick over my image or simply the text field, we will figure out. Feel free to evaluate our solutions. This is configurable on the SDK level. So right now I will just make an image of my ID. Doesn't have to be necessarily some good quality image. We do OCR. We extract the details from the ID so user doesn't have to type anything. However, you still have an option to correct in case the ID is, I don't know, we have a very special alphabet signs and so on. So you can always correct it. Many people have very damaged ID or dirty. So I have just confirmed here. We also estimate age and gender from the image. So you can compare with what's on ID. And we have also security features to figure out if the ID is not tampered. So I will just agree that everything is correct. Here is the same component. We measure now ICAO parameters in simple form. That means we measure contrast, we measure lightning, we measure the user's behavior, if you have both eyes open, mouth shut, and so on. And again, we just grab the enrollment image. Yeah, that's it. What you haven't seen was the liveness check that has been run in the background. So for example, now I want to sign in. I sign in. If I want to spoof it with image like this, of course, the liveness check will fail. The same will happen if I will try to spoof it with my smartphone, with a selfie like this. Yep. You see it's failing again. So whatever type of technology you want to use, we can always figure out if it's a spoofing attack or not. We have trained our neural networks heavily with different spoofing attacks, and we can solve like this majority of very serious spoofing attacks into the technology. So again, I will just sign in. Also another very nice feature, very useful for the especially home office or office scenarios is this is what we call so-called watch list, so-called ongoing face scanning. So once camera sees my face, it's okay. Once I disappear from the camera view, the screen is blurry because my face is not visible to the camera still. And here, once my face is in the view of the camera, it's sharp again. So this is another usage of our technology for security purposes, access control and also security of your devices. This technology can be deployed on the laptops, on the PCs, and you don't have to type so long passwords, change them every second month, and so on. So this is the technology for real world situation. Another very nice feature that will help you to solve challenging situations will be tailgating. If you're using just RFID card, this is something you cannot really solve unless there is somebody who is monitoring the area. But with our technology, once we detect the people in the area we want to detect, everything is configurable, the distance, the angle, and everything. And for example, first person is on the watch list, second is not, third is on the watch list. And if this person changes the mind and step away, we will not open the turnstile for this person. This is the main added value of so-called access controller. The logic is configurable. For example, we can set the logic, and we will show you in the demo in a while that, for example, I am the user, I belong to the watch list, but I don't have a face mask on. We don't open the turnstiles until you put the face mask on. So this is very important. For example, configurable logic you can use in your environment according to your security standards. Also, we have ready-to-use access station app. So you imagine either you have a monitored area or unsupervised. we provide a very nice application that gives you overview about what's going on in front of your entry point. That means if the user is on the watch list, you just get tiny notification, indicating that everything is okay. On the other side, if there is a user that is not on the watch list or is from the restricted list, for example, ex-employee, or the user is not wearing a face mask, you will get the notification here. But this is gonna be shown in our live demo in a few minutes. One of the last slides is about the cloud matcher. You can imagine that the SmartFace is a server-based application. It requires a server to deploy, camera to hook in. But on the other side, we see that our partners, very often they have situations like events where you just need to temporarily build the solution and you don't want to invest into heavy infrastructure because you don't expect huge traffic, because simply the conditions are temporary for one-day event, banquet, you can name it. And for such solution, we have built light version, so-called SmartFace Cloud Matcher. And you can use it exactly like with the camera I have shown in a while. But instead of streaming the camera, we are streaming simply the smartphone. Let me share my screen again. So this is a very simple application, just a demo, showcasing that, for example, if my face is detected, we provide also immediate information about the user from the watch list. Yeah, so you can imagine that there can be an event, there can be a hostess, I'm entering in, I have enrolled with my selfie or via social media. And once I'm in, just very quickly, you can have an information about the user. User doesn't need to wear any badge, any entry card whatsoever. Yeah, for example, let me maybe stream to my nice colleague. That is yeah. So of course this is configurable. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, this is another example how you can use our technology, even with in the very challenging conditions. And yeah, this was the last slide from myself. I will again encourage you to go our website, innovatrix.com/partner-program and find the benefits we are offering to our partners. And let's grow together. Now, I will give the word to Marian. Marian is our product manager. Marian has prepared a very nice demo for you. We are going to stream live, so finger crossed. We are going to showcase the fully seamless access control scenario, including opening also the entry points. So okay. Marian.
Hi, Robert.
Stage is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay. And the stage is yours.
Hello. I'm standing in office entrance, one of the entrances we have in Bratislava in our offices, headquarters. And as you can see behind me, we have a swim line here for people. It's a speed gate. We have a little tablet for feedback. It works as a feedback display for people that enters. And behind the tablet, you can see a little camera that it's watching the surrounding of the speed gate. And once someone appears, the speed gate opens. This is a real life situation. As you can see, we have an artificial light here. So the lighting condition is not that good. It's already dark outside. And I'm going to show you how it works, basically how seamless access works. So I'll just go through it. So you saw on the feedback display that I was recognized and the system let me in. And right now I'm going to show you how it works when I'm not wearing a mask, because it's really important, especially in Slovakia right now. The COVID situation is not that good. It's mandatory to have the face mask. If I put it down and I turn to the camera, the system sees that I'm not wearing a face mask, and it won't let me in. So this is also a nice feature to have for these days. So this is basically it, Robert. Real life situation.
Yeah, this is always nice. This is why I love the live demos. So we had also very nice background. Maybe if you can also to show one more time, also other guests have an option to see this very nice seamless concept. Yeah, as I said, it's exactly what it does. It does. Once the user is detected from distance, simply face has been detected, processed, and seemingly open. We have also, you can use the, as Marian described, the feedback display or whatever sort of notification according your use case scenario. So thank you, Marian. Thank you. And yeah.
Thank you, Robert.
This was pretty much all from our side. So maybe let's have a look on Q&As, the questions you had.
As a reminder, you can type your questions in the Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen. We do have some here. Okay, Robert. It appears you're categorizing people as male or female. Is this integral to the algorithm?
Correct. Yes.
I've read about issues around poor recognition of people with darker skin. Have you seen this and addressed it yourself?
Well, this was this was a bit typical, maybe in the early stages of the face recognition itself. Currently, we have deployments all around the world. Just to give you an idea, our biggest customer is Ministry of Interior of State Indonesia. Indonesia is the biggest Muslim country, almost 200 million people, women wearing hijabs, and the police department, local CSI team is using our technology also for forensic investigation. And you can imagine Indonesia is a country of 17,000 islands, a lot of earthquakes, disasters, tsunamis. So very, very unusual and challenging situations. And of course, we are using many data sets from all around the world of many regions. To be honest, this male and female categorization is pretty much useful for the retail analytics. It doesn't really have a much with the access control. Also the same with the age estimation. It's just an estimation. Of course, we can always improve it according to the use case. The important thing is what do you need to achieve?
Thank you. Can I use existing CCTV cameras? If so, what are the limitations of this?
Yes, you can. There is no limitation. Each CCTV camera brand has so-called RTSP or real-time streaming protocol. And this is exactly what we consume. It's a standard protocol for each camera brand. So you may have older camera, new one. We can process pretty much from very low resolution to 4K, 8K, depends just on the server sizing.
What do you consider as top drivers to upgrade physical access control?
The enrollment is very crucial. Yeah, you cannot imagine that, for example, if you have a low quality image, and let me maybe share my screen again, just to give you an idea. If you have an image like this, we see very often that person grabs or somebody gets the image like this, use it as an enrollment feature, and then they are surprised that either there is a low accuracy match or no match. Therefore, we are coming to the market with the solutions for enrollment. We measure ICAO parameters, that stands for International Civil Aviation Organization. These parameters are standards when you go and apply for a passport. Our SDK is being used by organization issuing IDs. So we measure exactly what's being done when you apply for passport. We are not that strict in terms of lighting and white background and so on. But the first thing is, of course, the good quality enrollment. Second thing is, of course, the camera position. And we understand that here you are very limited. Yeah, you have very often a background light or a light from the side. Sometimes you cannot really put the camera on a turnstile, so you need to be creative. But yeah, in real world, you see how you differ or what's the difference between particular vendors. And our technology is for free to evaluate. Of course, we are very open. We don't hide anything. So feel free to contact me, and you can test by yourself what are the limits and what are the options to achieve.
As a reminder, you can ask your questions in the Q&A icon. What is the largest database you have in the field?
For access control, approximately 40,000 users. For investigation, 2 billion. It's the Indonesia use case where people have 10 fingerprints, face image. So that's the size of database more than 2 billion records. For us, it doesn't matter. Once user have a so-called template, we have one template per user, and we include a fingerprint, iris, or face. It depends on the use case.
Wow. Okay. What are the main challenges when adopting contactless access control like this? So many of our members, for access control, they're using key cards, right, and fobs. So can you talk a little bit about what are the challenges they may experience when they're adopting something like this?
Usually, as we mentioned, the integration part. Yeah, there's every company has some existing systems, existing infrastructure, existing access control. Therefore, we build solution that is just running next to the architecture you already have deployed. We just connect, we synchronize. So you have a new employee, you just follow your regular processes. You enter him to your master access control system, you give him the rights. Okay, Robert, new employee, can go to the building A, entry 1, 2, 3. And we just copy, we just synchronize this setup, and we apply the same logic, because when we detect the face is just another virtual card. That's we find this is a Robert, we find what's the ID of the user, and we use it for opening the door. So yeah, the integration with existing, and then there will be a common situation like environmental details, but always you can solve them easily. Yeah, you can always put some blinders, you can always put some more light. What we also do, we have a partner portal where we host our trainings. We produce a lot of trainings and documentation for our partners. Just an example how to solve these situations, we have a very nice document called typical camera settings and conditions, where we really navigate our partners how they should deploy the cameras, how they should deploy the things. And we are always here to support. We don't let our partners just to struggle in the field.
Thank you. How long does the initial enrollment last before needing to be updated? So for an example, weight gain.
To give you an idea, the algorithms measure distances from the tip of your nose to your corner of your eye and so on. So it builds the template, a vector around these so-called facial features. Many people think if you have a facial hair or if you gain, I don't know, 30 pounds, you're changing, but you're changing to the humans. Once you are adult, your eyes will not move, even if you gain 100 kilograms. Your nose will not move, and your mouth will not move as well. When we add watches auto learn, it's pretty much more to solve very challenging situations like a wrong angle. Really, also I may have a hat, I may have a sunglasses. Generally, the algorithms have bigger issues or lower accuracy, and this is not just Innovatrics, this is all of the vendors with the kids. Because kids are growing, their school is growing, and these facial features are changing. So this is challenging situations. Once you are adult, maybe since 16 to 20 years old, your skull is not changing anymore. So we are also very confident. Maybe let me show you. We are very confident to work with 10 years and older images for our projects. Here, let me just simulate one more thing. Here is my ID when I was as a student in the US. Let me just quickly share my screen, just to give you an idea with how old images we can work, and you will see. So just very quickly, here I am sharing my demo application again. I will choose a new enrollment. From the list of the IDs, I will choose the unknown ID. We don't have this Virginia ID trained for the OCR, so I will be using just the image. Just a second, let me share my screen. Thank you. Yep. So here we have the regular Virginia driver's license. If I will just simply enroll for the processing, ID is not supported, name is not important now. I will just correct. And you see, here I matched with my image from 2005, I believe. So we can work with also with a very, very old images.
Very neat. Okay, we've got another question. What will be the server requirements for 40 gates and 100,000 users? Wow.
First of all, the watchlist size is not really crucial. Even we load all of the face templates into the RAM, but just one face template has only 500 bytes. What is crucial into the server sizing is always the camera resolution. Let's consider you will use HD resolution, and for such use case, HD resolution around 20 frames per second processing, we require per one camera stream 3 gigabytes of RAM and dedicated server core. So we can always take this question offline. For our partners, of course, we have sizing requirements, as you can see here, hopefully. And we have also sizing tools, but those are general requirements according to the use case. As I said, 3 gigabytes of RAM per HD resolution, 25 frames per second. And yeah, it really depends on the use case, because in reality, maybe let me show you on this example, you don't need to process the whole stream, yeah? You need to process just this area, for example. And again, we can mask the image, and the CPU usage will be just 50% because the algorithm will not scan the whole frame. It will scan just particular area we choose or you want to focus on. And again, with such tweaks, you can go to the very low consumption of your hardware resources.
Okay, I've got one last question here and we'll wrap up. Can I also track the real-time location of people in the building or on the premises?
Yeah, you can. As I said, we always, when we detect the person, we provide so-called camera ID. So once you know where's the camera, you can also locate the person with a high accuracy. What we also plan to release very soon into the production is not only face recognition, but body detection or human body detection. Just to give you just a very sneak peek preview. This is from our algorithm team. Yeah, so this is how we can measure the user's behavior, if there is some fight, and so on. So those are very valuable data. We can always, use, and we will be using them. So here I am sharing my screen again to give an idea how such, body posture recognition will work. And there's many situations that can be solved, especially security scenarios, if you are able to measure so-called body features. Yeah, we are also using this for the liveness checks. If somebody is holding an image or a tablet, we can find out and send a notification. So again, this is just a sneak peek preview from our R&D team. How much fun do they have?
This is great. I want to thank Innovatrix for showcasing their cutting edge technology that can really set some ESA member companies apart from the competition. Really slick features here. I also want to thank all of you for taking the time out to join us on today's webinar. Robert, is there anything you'd like to say in closing? Just
to thank you all for joining, and greetings from very cold and snowy Slovakia now. Finally, the winter came here. Also, Sarandis told me that finally they have a winter in Sweden, which was not typical. So yeah, I will be very happy If you will follow up with us, send us your questions. And also this way, I would like to thank to Marian for a nice demo and to Sarandis for joining and sharing his experiences with us.
As a reminder, today's session was recorded, and we will send you a link with that recording so you can share it with your colleagues and rewatch it. We'll see you on the next ESA webinar, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.